Well, I just got the here he is call. Walking over here to him. Dad found him. He didn't run 60 yards. You may be on here right now. Got perfect man. Right back up that hill. Is a travel corridor for bucks during the rut. They'll kind of walk that creek bottom and win that creek bottom and look up through the flat and up this ridge. But came in here Sunday and tried to do it, but decided since he'd been to this corn pile twice in the last like 10 days that I'd just cut some lanes and he'd come up here to this corn during the middle of the rut, which was stupid. A buck doesn't care much about food during the rut. Well, man, he just walked 100 yards in front of me, about 20 yards from the tree I wanted to move to. I didn't get much footage of him. I was more worried about trying to get my call out, get my rattle horns out to try to call and get him to come up here. He seemed interested at first, but never did bite on it. Good news, I guess, of it is I watched him head towards the bedding area that I have a picture of him from about 4 days ago coming out of in the afternoon at 4 o'clock. So I am going to move this stand down here. I'm going to give it another 30 minutes in the stand. That's why I'm a little over an hour ago. And I actually just saw another decently mature buck not too long ago, 45 minutes, or probably 30 minutes after him, walking the same trail. So I'm going to move this stand down and see if I can't get a little bit closer to him. But just frustrating. I knew last weekend I should move the stand. I would have killed him this morning. Don't get too many opportunities on a mature buck like that, so oh well. It is what it is. Good morning, guys. It's about 4:10 in the morning. I've been up since 3:30. I'm headed down to our farm. My Spartan Go Cam has been blowing up all day yesterday, and
out throughout the night. The big deer I caught, Arnold. He's a big 10 pointer. Walked yesterday morning at 6:30 a.m., yesterday evening at 6:30 p.m., 10:30 p.m., and then again this morning at 1:30 a.m. So while he's in there, I better go ahead and get on down there and try to get on him. I saw him Saturday morning. Today's Tuesday. I saw him this past Saturday morning in there at about 9:30 in the morning. Looked like he was winding does, and then all the pictures I've had of him is at the feed site that's right there close. So we're getting in there trying to, or hoping that it's going to be a good morning and he'll continue to follow the script and come on in there and get about 35 yards from my lock on that I got hanging in there already. So y'all stick around, it could get interesting this morning. Bah, bah.
Well, guys, I just shot Arnold. I messed up this morning and didn't check my camera before I came in here, and the battery was dead. So I'm not sure how good the footage is on my Technicam, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not real happy with the shot either. I think I hit him a little bit low, and I didn't get much penetration. But I guess we're gonna give him some time. He stopped in the bottom. I may honestly try to grunt and see if he won't turn and come back up here. So we're gonna see what happens. Oh gosh. I hope I killed him. I hope I really made a lethal shot there. So we'll see.
Well, I've made it back to the lodge and got the camera charged up and reviewed the footage and feel pretty good about the shot. And my reinforcements have arrived. Got my dad, old Don Holder, and the blood tracker herself. She's tried on one deer and successful on one deer, and she's ready to go. She said, "Let's go." So we're gonna go out here and see what happens. Well, I just got the "here he is" call. Walking over here to him. Dad found him. He didn't run 60 yards. It is. Yeah. Flashing red, yeah. Oh yes.
think? What do you think?
That's a stud. I didn't know he had these kickers off the back either. All the trail cam pictures I've had of him, I didn't even know he had those.
Well,
Wow.
We can't see him either.
Yeah.
Oh, showing up.
Yep.
2 kickers on the back.
Yep. Yep, that is a stud. Well, we got them out of the woods, got them all set up, propped up here. It was a really fun hunt. Learned a lot by chasing this deer. Got back from pro ball in September, and my dad had bought this property a couple months earlier, and I got out that first weekend. Griffin came down with me, and we put out a bunch of cameras, a bunch of feed sites, and just started looking around for, you know, what was on the property and trying to get a list together, or not necessarily a list, but, you know, just get inventory, if you want to call it that, of all the deer around, and just see what type of genetics and maturity were in the deer and just the health of the herd. And this was actually one of the first deer I got on camera, not bucks, actual deer period, that I got on camera. And I knew right away he was a mature deer and was a deer I wanted to chase. And I hunted this year different than I have in years past. This year I haven't hunted as hard. That's awful to say, I guess, but I haven't. I've been smarter about it. Last year and year before, I would hunt every day. Just go, hunt, not really think about what I was doing as much. This year I've you know, kind of tried to be more mature about it and let trail cameras do a lot of the work for me and tell me how the deer are moving, what stage of the rut they were in. I felt like this was pretty close to the best part of the rut to really hunt. It wasn't necessarily the peak, but the bucks were still on their feet. They weren't locked down with does. So the Spartan camera, actually, the cell camera, came in really handy this year. I have 2 of them. I was running this one on this deer on one spot. I've had him across 4 different cameras, all within about I'd say a 65 acre, I think is what I measured it at, little area that he was his territory. And he was kind of hit or miss though at start in September. He'd be there a day and then he wouldn't be back for 5, 6, or 7 days, and then he'd show up on another one randomly, and then he become a little more patternable, and I kind of started to figure out exactly where he was bedding. He was bedding at the same spot every night and coming out of the same spot every morning. Not necessarily during daylight though, but lately, the last 7 to 10 days, he's been showing up on 2 of my cameras that are about 1,000 yards apart every day, multiple times a day, especially the spot that I've been hunting so hard and that I actually had the opportunity this morning on him at. He was coming every day. 2 days ago, he came 5 times. He came 6:30 in the morning, 6:30 in the afternoon, 10:30, came back at midnight, and then came back at 1:30. He didn't come back in yesterday morning. It was hot yesterday. It never got below probably 65 degrees, stayed mid-70s. Then the loggers actually were logging a couple hundred yards from me, and they were logging his bedroom and the pines that he was bedding in. And oh, come on, Daisy. Here's our bloodhound. But kind of discouraged me a little bit, and I was kind of thinking about not even hunting this morning. And last night at 11:30, the Spartan camera dinged, and he was back in there at 11:30 last night, and came back at 1:30 and came back at 3:30. So I came on and hunted, and I'm glad I did because it was a lot cooler this morning. I think it's 47 when I got in the stand, and it all came together. Kind of a frustrating hunt at the beginning because when I got in the stand, I put my camera on the 4th arrow camera arm. Let's make sure I get them in it. They've been a great help for me the last 2 seasons. I put my camera on the arm, and I guess my camera got turned on in my bag last night after I hunted, and it was dead. So I actually took my Technicam off of my bow and zip tied it onto my camera arm and decided to go with that as my primary camera today, and the footage was amazing.
It was phenomenal footage. It worked perfectly, and I couldn't be more happy with it. So I'm really glad that these guys are on board with us and helping us out, because if not, I would have had to lower my bow this morning and sat there and just observed and looked and watched this deer at 30 yards. 35 yards was actually the shot, and I wouldn't have been very happy about that. But also got to give a big thank you out to Black Eagle Arrows and Schwacker. Best arrows and best broadheads on the market. And then Hoyt, can't appreciate them enough. And I've always shot Hoyt, and glad to have them on board with us as well. And then the Ozonics, I'm not actually sponsored by Ozonics, but I'm a very big believer in Ozonics and how much it can help you with your wind control and everything. You still have to hunt in the right wind, but you never know, especially during a rut, when a buck might slip in downwind of you. But couldn't be more happy with this deer, my biggest deer to date in Georgia, and just a fun hunt. I learned a lot about deer hunting through this. Now you think you're an expert, but then you learn something new and you have a deer tie you up. I'm just glad that was able to close the gap on this deer, for sure.